somebody real quick. I ain't got much time to spend with you. But look at somebody real quick and tell them I was living under an element that was designed to destroy me. Well, as I go along, and as I was talking to some friends the other day, I found out, Brother Sellers, that many of our conversations are about struggles. Everybody I talk to is going through a struggle. Everybody I talk to is going through something that is challenging their life, and that is putting their salvation into question. And we are wondering, why is it that we must suffer the way that we suffer? We're wondering, why is it that we must go through the things that we go through? And one thing I found out along my journeys, my sister and my brother, that the devil has no respect to person. The devil does not care anything about your title. The devil does not care anything about who your daddy is or who your bishop is. But the devil comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Have I got anybody in the house that's been through something? Do I have anybody here that's willing to be honest, to say that I'm in a struggle right now and I don't understand why I'm in the struggle? I can't understand why I feel the way that I feel. I can't understand why I hurt the way that I hurt. Do I have anybody in here that says, God, I need some questions from you. I need to know, why am I in the position that I'm in? So I found out something here. Just about 6 months ago, I was going through some situations in my life, and I needed to know from God, why did I have to go through the things that I was going through? I needed to speak to God. I needed a word from God because my mind was in trouble. And one thing about the devil, he can care less whether you can walk. He can care less whether you can lift your hands. But one thing he wants to do is to attack your mind, because he understands if he can get in your mind, he can stop the process that you're trying to make with God. You ought to high five somebody and tell him, don't let the devil get into your mind, but let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. Look at somebody and tell him, don't lose your mind. And so what we find here is that what we go through can sometimes cause us to almost lose our mind. Well, let me testify just for a second. You're looking at somebody, and I ain't talking about 2 or 3 years ago. I'm talking about just 6 months ago. I wanted to commit suicide because I thought that if I left, wouldn't nobody recognize it? No way. Because couldn't nobody see my pain? Couldn't nobody see my depression? Couldn't nobody see my stress? And so I wanted to die. And when I was sitting at home one day, and let me hold that chair just for a second. I was sitting at home one day, and God had blessed me to live on the water. And so all around my apartment was water. And Brother Smith, I cannot understand why in the world was I going through what I was going through. I had given my heart to somebody that did not love me. And I wanted to know, what do you do when the person you've given your heart to rejects you and literally tells you, I do not love you, I don't care nothing about you, I hope you die? Look at your neighbor and say, what do you do? What do you do? So I was sitting there on my dock. I was sitting on my dock, sitting by the water. I wanted to know, how could I jump in this water and not come up again? I wanted to know, Brother Davis, how is it that I can leap from up here and not go and not come back up? And so I had my cell phone in my hand, and I called my 2 brothers here. And when I called Sellers, I got the voicemail, and it said, you have reached Elder Clarence Sellers Jr. And I'm unable to take your call at this time. But if you leave me a message, I'll get back with you. I need both of you to stand on the side of me. And so I hung up my phone, and I got Derek on the phone. And when I got his phone, you say, you reach Derek Hutchins II, and I'm unable to take your call at this time. But if you leave me a message, I'll get back with you. I said, well, God, you must be intended for me to live. I need y'all to apply some pressure on my shoulders. And so I got ready to take a leap. And when I got ready to jump in the water, I couldn't move. And I could not understand why I couldn't move. And I tried to take another leap, and I couldn't move. And I kept saying, God, what is it? I felt the weight on me. God said, I sent the weight of my glory because you cannot be destroyed. Look at somebody and tell him, you can't die. The weight of his glory is upon